Hey, we're the Talkers. I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
I'm June.
I'm Owel.
Welcome to
After
Shift. So, how's everyone's shift? How are you guys?
I'm excited. It's a weekend.
Yay! Yes, it's Friday.
I know. No, it's not Friday. It's Saturday.
Oh yeah, technically Saturday, Friday shift.
And I'm
Right.
really excited because this is our first.
Podcast.
I
Yep,
know,
it's
right?
our first ever episode.
Hello, everyone.
Hi guys, and I hope you guys have fun. The reason behind us coming up with this podcast, we just talked about it over lunch. I'm sure everyone of you would like to become DJs or are aspiring to be DJs, right? We just love to talk. It just so happens that our group, Trisha, Owel, June, and myself, we love to talk. We're very
Right,
opinionated
yes.
people, and we just want to share our thoughts with you guys.
True.
Or to you guys. So, we don't mean to offend anyone, okay?
Agree.
What we will be discussing here are just purely based from our own experiences,
Right.
our own thoughts, and ideas.
Okay, but sometimes, again, as the saying goes, bato-bato sa langit, wag magalit.
Tama, wag magalit. Right, yeah.
Tamaan, wag
Right.
magalit.
You're right.
Ay, tamaan! Ay! Bato-bato sa... What did I say? Bato-bato sa langit?
Yeah.
Tamaan,
Tamaan, wag
magalit.
magalit. There you go. So,
Anyways.
I hope you guys enjoy our first ever podcast, and for sure we will have more to come. Just again, don't forget to like our Facebook page and leave any comments or suggestions or questions. We'll be more than glad to read all of those for you guys.
Right.
So, anything for us today?
Okay. So, I was just checking Facebook earlier, and I know my friends list, in my newsfeed, by the way, may tatlong friends ako. Actually, not friends, but random friends.
Friends from FB. FB friends.
Oh,
Friends.
you're trying to be
It's-
safe, Owel.
No, it's a second degree friends because I have first degree friends. And I have
Okay, you
second
can tell
degree
as much
friends.
as you want. Okay, guys, this is actually not pertaining to any people in particular, but Owel would say just as he
Just to be
said
safe.
anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Cool.
So, I heard like a statement, like a bash or saying that about breakups, saying
Right.
bad things against their ex on Facebook, and
Uh-huh.
even tagging the names of their exes on the Facebook.
So, in short, ang palaya to.
Yes, bitter
Bitter
Ocampo.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess it's best for us to talk about the do's and don'ts after a breakup.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Right. Exactly.
Right, and
So-
would you really appreciate you being bashed on Facebook after the breakup?
Right.
Just something like that.
What is it that we are actually supposed to do after a breakup? And what are the things that we are supposed to avoid after a breakup?
Right.
Right.
Pero ang una sa lahat, I think they would be interested if we have our own breakups. Not to really share it too much, but we would share it anyway. How many breakups in the past?
Yeah.
Let's start with Owel.
Excuse me. Why do I always have to start
Of course,
course.
because you have a lot of...
Experience. Your heart has
Yeah,
been
it-
broken how many times already? I'm just kidding.
He's not broken. Okay?
Excuse me, my longest relationship was 8 years.
Whoa!
Yes, that's the I don't want to drop names.
Right,
but that is the
For
longest.
the record, 8 years, guys.
Yeah, my first is 2 years.
That's pretty long.
All right.
My first
Wow.
is 2 years, and then after that, I don't do flings, so I'm
Right.
really into long relationships. That's why I always end up with a heartbreak.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
sure, okay, the reason as to why this is a cool topic to discuss is because a lot of people are actually able to relate. Like, a lot of
I mean,
people,
who does not,
right.
diba?
I mean, people do experience breakups at one point.
Exactly.
Like, ako,
Right.
if I
Or
would
breaking
have
up
to
with a-
share, I think I have like 2 breakups or yeah.
Right.
Wow,
I had-
June, 2
I had-
breakups.
I actually mine is unique because I'd had 4 breakups, but I only had 3 boyfriends. what happened was, so my first,
Interesting.
so me and my first boyfriend were together. We were. I don't want to say when was that because they will have an idea of who the person is.
That's
every
fine,
single
that's
year.
fine.
Yeah, I won't say it. So my first
Couple
boyfriend, we
years.
broke up, and then I had my second boyfriend. We broke up, and then I went back to my first boyfriend,
Okay.
and then I had my fourth boyfriend. I think I have that X effect. I would say that I
The
always
after
go
X
back.
effect.
I always go back to my ex-boyfriends. I don't know why I have
Which
that.
is very interesting, diba? Kasi we're talking about what are the do's and don'ts after
Exactly.
breakup.
So-
So, would you really go back to an ex or what?
Is that
Right.
really the right thing to do or not the right,
Right.
thing to do?
Alright, well in her case, I guess it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I think from Trisha's standpoint, the reason as to probably why she goes back to her ex is because of that comfort level, that
Right.
comfort zone that we're talking about. Like, she's just comfortable with her ex. That's
Right.
why it's just okay for her to go back.
Hey, Chino, what do you think?
Let's talk
Wow.
about breakups. So
How many
you
breakups?
said how many breakups have you had?
Around 2.
Around 2. Trisha has
I
like
had-
4. I have like
Yeah.
2. How about you, Chino?
Okay, let's just say that I had one major breakup.
Oh, okay.
One
So there are a lot
major
Can we say
breakup.
there's minor breakups?
No. Let's just leave it as it is.
The
One major
question-
breakup.
The question: How can you quantify a major breakup? A minor breakup.
I think that's a separate topic that we
Yeah, we can talk
Yeah.
about that in our
Right.
future podcast. Anyway,
All
I
right,
had one.
let's lay down our list.
Okay.
Chino, that's your number 1.
Okay.
Do's and don'ts.
Okay.
All right. I'll go with a negative first. I would say don't lock yourself up in your room. Don't isolate yourself.
Why do you think so?
I guess the reason behind it is because it's not the end of the world. If you end up breaking up with your partner, with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, it's not the end of the world. There's still a lot of fishes there in the ocean.
Wow. Is
I
that
mean-
is that to think on a positive light?
Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't stop from the breakup.
Okay.
Your life doesn't stop in your breakup.
So are you telling us that after that day that you broke up with your
You go out.
you do not just confine yourself after that
You'll
day
have
to
that.
your room,
You'll have that
to your
tendency
room.
to be emotional, to be very
Okay,
emotional,
right.
which would lead to you probably just locking yourself up. You won't have appetite. You don't want to go out. You don't want to see your friends. You don't want to talk to anyone, and you would just end up crying and crying and crying all day. Probably watch love stories, love flicks, and the like.
Right.
I would greatly see Trisha. I mean, I would. I can imagine. I can greatly imagine Trisha would have actually kept her inside and lock her
Well,
her up inside a room.
I think I did that because I'm afraid because normally this happens when you have friends.
Right.
Like if they don't like the guy and then you
Uh-huh.
broke up with the guy, chances are you don't talk to them about it
Correct.
because they would say, "I told
See,
you
I
so."
told you.
Exactly.
Right. So,
Yeah,
but
that's
I
no
think
problem.
you have Chino's point is right that you don't lock yourself in your room and talk to yourself because that's a dangerous situation.
It might end up to suicide. You
Suicide.
might commit suicide. I know it's
I know it's funny, but it happens.
We see that in the
It happens.
news.
Have you had
right?
a suicide, Trisha?
No,
Of course
I mean
not.
before. I'm sure you guys have heard this in the news, wherein like people do commit suicide
Right.
after
Yeah.
you break up because they are so emotional.
Yeah.
They don't use their heads. They don't think. They just go through go with their emotions. And again, it's bad. If you commit suicide.
Right.
That's
so,
not supposed to be the
so I
case.
think my do there is if you're not confident, I'm sure most of us have a lot of friends, different sets of friends.
Right.
So perhaps I would suggest though that you talk to your friends about it because the
Right.
more you talk about it, the more you can open up, the more you can shed your emotions. And I would suggest that you talk to, if you're a girl like me, I normally talk to my guy friends.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they're the ones who normally tell you
The truth.
the truth. Well, I'm not saying that my girlfriends are not.
But
But
they're girls.
chances are we girls are very sympathetic.
Right.
So we
Alright.
tell them, yeah, he's a prick.
Right.
You should have
So
left
I think what
her.
she's trying to tell us, it's actually the second point on the list of the don't you do talk or don't girls won't talk to
Correct.
guys because you won't get the sympathy or empathy that you would want to hear
Right.
from them.
But I think talking to guy friends helps because it makes you realize. Because what we're looking at normally when we break up with someone is our just point of view. Like
Yeah.
I gave my all. What happened?
That's right.
Wow.
But we
But
need
not
to
the
look at
other
other.
side of
Yes,
the,
we
the
look.
other side of the story.
Yeah, and
Right.
normally if you
Wow.
discuss this with your, let's say in Trisha's case, her girlfriends, right? They would have that tendency to be biased. Like they can actually say, yeah, he's a bad dude. Like, he really broke her heart and the like. They don't look at it objectively, as compared to you probably speaking with your guy friends.
Right.
It's different. They have a different perspective because they're of the opposite sex.
True.
But I have a problem.
Why?
I don't have guy friends.
So on your end,
So
how
what
you
would
say-
be? What would be your?
So I think that second point is not applicable to me.
So what is your do or your don't?
Okay, in relation to Chino's point, do not pretend that you're fine.
Okay.
Alright.
Because that's common, right?
So don't pretend you're fine. Go out of your room and pretend that you're not fine. Is that what you're telling us?
No, because sometimes what do you call this? We quote everything.
Yeah.
We pretend that
Okay.
I'm okay. Duh.
Mhm.
It's your loss, not mine.
Right.
But that sometimes that's dangerous.
Right.
Okay.
That's what we call defense mechanism.
Exactly. That's your defense mechanism. You see that you're being dumped, and
You-
then you pretend that you're okay.
Yeah,
But
you put your
inside
guard
you,
up. Yeah,
You're not.
Right.
right.
So I think that's my second. I'll make a follow up on that. So you should cry.
Yeah.
Right. Cry your
Express
heart out.
yourself. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, express yourself, and I think I would have to add on the list that the don't part there is that if you would like to express yourself, you can cry all you want, but I think you don't cry it out over on a post on FB or
Right.
bash or
Yeah.
express your
Exactly.
feelings too much.
Remember
I think
the
that's a don't part.
post of a friend of a friend of a second degree friend.
Exactly.
Bashing someone on Facebook is a no-no.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to tell the world that you broke up with him and
Exactly.
you're still bitter, right?
Exactly.
You don't want to tell your ex your ex that you're still hurting.
Right.
But again, that contradicts the second pretending. to be
Have
fine.
you ever have posted anything on Facebook about your relationship status after breakup relationship status?
I remember started 2011. I stopped.
You stopped, so you had that
Yes.
kind of behavior before of posting or bashing
Correct.
your
I do.
exes.
Yes.
Like in my
Seriously?
case, I ended up deactivating my Facebook account and creating a new one because I didn't want to do anything with the ex. Obviously, I didn't want to post anything that would harm myself or herself. So I think that was the safest thing to do during
I-
that time to
yeah, I-
deactivate my Facebook account and just create a new one. And there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because after the breakup, I changed number. I deactivated, not deactivated the Facebook, but I never checked Facebook for quite some time
I think I deactivated my Facebook
after the
because
breakup.
yeah,
Have you?
because-
Ako hindi. I've never had any bad posts.
Oh, because when you had the breakup, Facebook was not yet uso at the time.
Sobra ka.
It still
No!
wasn't. Yeah.
I mean,
and I think
Friendster.
and I think you don't unfriend your ex. I think
yeah,
for me,
that's a good one. You do
I
not
seriously
you do not unfriend your ex.
Seriously.
I will not.
I will not.
Oh my
unfriend
god.
ex.
But what I did is I unfriended and I blocked him.
I would have to. Yeah, I would have to side with Owl on this. It actually is a case-to-case basis. It's a situation basis. It depends on the situation. You don't.
Or depends on the breakup.
Guys, yung
Exactly.
technology naman ng Facebook nag-upgrade.
If
diba?
it goes-
Pwede may hide siya. Right?
But
Hide, unfollow. So that...
Because my point, sige. My point is the reason why I blocked him because I don't want to receive any messages from him.
Oh, same with me. I didn't want to get anything from her.
Exactly,
Like I don't want to
anything.
receih messages or
Ang
phone calls and the
bitter.
like. Yeah.
I think in their case, they were the person who dumped the,
Nah,
the person.
And that's
But- but
that's
if
a good
we were-
topic next time,
right.
no? Who dumped who? Or who's the rightmost person who
To
came
dump.
to dump? Well,
Right.
that's a bad word.
But I
dumping.
think if
Yeah.
your case is you were the one who was dumped, I think it's okay not to unfriend
So-
your ex because
But if it went,
That's arrogance.
why?
You post you and the new one to your face telling to your ex, hey, we're happy you're not, you're a loser.
and that's a good
well,
thing.
that makes sense though. Pero hindi ko talaga din gagawin yun.
Yeah, I won't.
but again,
Well,
it's a
I
case-to-case
know.
basis.
Yeah,
If
I
the
know.
relationship, if the breakup really went sour, like in my case, I'm not gonna bother
too.
anymore. I'll just,
Aside with
I'll let
you
you be. I'm not going to. I'm not going to post anything on
Right.
FB to again harm myself or either her. No,
Exactly.
I'll just leave it as it is.
Okay, since we're talking about
Kasi I think it's a healing stage of
Yeah.
the breakup. Soon, gagawin ko, i-add ko na naman yan, magbe-message ako, but not to the point of getting involved myself to him again. Pero, this is the healing part eh.
right. So when we're talking about now that we're talking about Facebook, sa tingin nyo it's okay naman na ang i-post mo hindi naman masyadong hurtful or bitter or you express your emotions, but would you want to post something I'm happy or you post pictures that you're partying with friends, you're drinking beer and you're
Again-
all on revelry and all. What do you think about that?
With your point regarding that, I think that's
Depends
still
on
a
the motive.
yeah, and I think I would still have to say it's a defense mechanism.
Right.
Like if you show people, if you let the people know that you're happy, well, in fact, probably you're really hurting inside because you don't have someone to talk to,
All right.
right? I'll mention another don't. Okay, I mean, again, another don't. Don't look for someone after a breakup.
True. I would
Don't
agree.
look for a rebound.
Correct. I would
Right.
agree.
So,
Okay.
are we talking about the 3-month rule ni Popoy at ni Basha?
Okay.
Sige, wait. Okay, eto. But you know what? Statistically, mostly na rebounds are the most successful relationships.
Wow! So, may nangyari na ba
Kasi-
sa'yong ganon?
Yes.
Okay.
Kasi at that time, you're hurting kasi.
Sabi mo,
Hurting
dalawa lang yung
ka.
relationship mo.
Leche ka. So yun nga, hurting ka. You're
Right.
hurting. So you found someone who comforted you.
Uh-huh. But the thing about that is you don't.
I
you,
think your point is maghanap mismo.
right.
Siguro
Literally,
yun.
you find or you look for
Right.
someone.
Okay.
Just to
I
again
get it.
probably hide what's really going on. Again, a form of defense mechanism.
True.
Don't look for someone that you can just it's just a rebound. No. I guess what you're saying earlier, Owel, is like you. What do you call this? You look for someone, or you don't look for someone. You get comfortable with someone, because
right.
you're emotional, but you don't have any intention of actually breaking that person's heart. Again, you just felt comfortable with that person. That's why it led to a potential relationship.
True.
Right?
That's right. That's right.
So, okay, your point is yung maghanap ka mismo.
Literally
Hey,
to find someone.
punta
after
sa
the
friend mo,
breakup.
friend, hanapan mo naman akong jowa.
Right.
Ganon.
Right.
So, oo, I agree to that. Pero yung destiny talaga na, ay may lalaki or may guy na pumunta sa akin or nakipag-usap, tapos, I get comfortable with him,
Right,
tapos
true.
nainlove ako sa kanya.
Right.
Yun yung point ko.
I think-
Yung natural.
Natural.
Right.
Hindi yung ginawan ko ng paraan.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think so. What we're saying is, don't look for a rebound relationship, but
Yes.
let's not follow the 3-month rule because
Yeah.
you cannot really say whenever someone will come to your life.
Serendipity.
Right, that you will feel comfortable and eventually you will love the person.
That's why I
Right.
keep on telling my friends, don't wait or don't look, just go with the flow.
But won't you
Right.
look bad if it's in your nature not to fall in love right away? I mean, just to make it a period of time na sana kahit na nag-break up kayo and then a week later you were able to naturally find that someone. And then isn't it polite na
Why would
not
you
to-
be polite when the person broke your heart?
Exactly.
Right. And again, we're talking about love here. It's something that you can't control. You feel it. Okay, you don't choose to love. Okay, you will feel it. Like it's going to be natural.
All right.
True.
So I think what you're trying to tell me is na you don't care what other people will say about it. Anyway, something like that. Kung sabihin ng a week later nag-break kayo and then after nyo mag-break nakahanap kayo ng iba and then you don't care what other people will say about it.
Yes, as
Yeah.
long as I'm happy.
That's a don't. So I think it's also safe. Okay, you listen to your friends or to friends that you trust that you're comfortable with, someone or people that can actually give you objective, an objective feedback. I would say.
Wow.
Or comment about your situation. But the thing is, you don't just you don't just look for someone.
Right.
Okay, you don't just use someone. Okay.
True.
Okay.
I would like to add one more on my list. One is don't send sympathy messages to your ex.
What do you mean by sympathy message? Have you ever sent a sympathy
Right, a sympathy
message? Because you won't write something on your list kung hindi mo siya nagawa eh.
Or do not, yes, for Trisha, do not send sympathy
Paawa.
text,
Yeah,
but
the paawa
send
text.
sympathy flowers.
Bigyan mo nga kami
Hindi,
ng example.
Corona.
Bigay ng
Corona.
No, can you give us an example that you think that you would
One
feel
is
it's a sympathy text?
disclaimer, I did not send this. Now like you just wasted my time. 5 years is a long time. If I knew that you will just break up with me.
It's
Why
like-
is that? I can see that in your sent inbox, in your sent messages.
It's like it's your loss, not mine.
Right.
That's what you
Yeah,
normally
I
feel
wouldn't do
like,
that
if you
too,
were to
yeah.
send a sympathy message to
to
your
your
ex.
ex. Right.
In addition to that, also do not seek revenge.
Yeah.
So, ibig sabihin ba nun, you have sought revenge?
I remember.
No,
Okay.
don't.
Okay, I'll
wala.
add another do. Oh, so this time it's a do. Okay. Find something to do.
Exactly.
Find
Keep yourself
something.
busy.
Yeah, keep yourself busy. Probably explore something that you have probably not done before.
Explore girls.
No, not really.
just
I'm not
kidding.
just pertaining to girls, but if you have not done activities in the past,
Right.
okay, probably now is the perfect time for you to do these kinds of activities.
True.
Yeah.
Like shopping.
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 Yeah, you go
Alright.
you go to somewhere else, find an activity where you can
Pero it's really helpful if it's really mental activity.
Right.
mental activity.
Kasi
Girls
mas
normally
nakaka-
cut their hair, right?
Yes, that's a first.
They change their hairstyle if
That's true.
Pero honestly,
you know they've gone through a bad relationship
Oo,
or a
ganun
breakup.
talaga. It's just like you're flagging yourself na I had a breakup kapag nagpagupit ka, so I don't think that's a no.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright.
Well, I think one ultimate, this is the last on our list, okay? One is, if you've broken up with someone, log into Facebook, like our page, and listen to our podcast.
Right. What do you guys think? Feel free to leave your comments, feedback, or suggestions by following us on Facebook and Twitter at @after_shift. Who knows? Your suggestion might be our next topic. Till our next podcast, Talkers, signing out.